Okay, so today I wanted to show you all how to make a Shanghainese style mooncake. It is characterized by really this kind of this short crust, flaky pastry, and the inside is a sweetened ground meat mix. Which I think might seem strange when you think about it, but if you think about like barbecue char siu, which is also, you know, a meat that has a sweetened glaze on it, you'll realize actually quite quickly that it is quite good. And the technique with the short crust pastry is a little bit like it's a little bit like how Chinese people make puff pastry. So it's a very interesting process, and it's really pretty as well because I end it with putting little red stamps on top. So it's so pretty, and it is great to give to friends if you want as well because it's just so pretty. So hope you all enjoy this one. So we're going to make that flaky outside crust first, and it's actually pretty easy, but if you wanted the texture to be, you know, specific, you tinker around with the recipe a little bit. But first off is the oil layer. So this is very similar to just the big wad of butter that you stick in between dough when you're making, you know, croissants or puff pastry. But the oil layer is pretty much just fat and flour. And of course, it's a super soft mix. So after you're done with that, you just want to stick this into the refrigerator for about an hour so that it firms up and it's a little bit easier to work with. So no need to waste another bowl. This is part 2 of the outside wrapper, and it's essentially the dough that's in between the layers of butter. And it's a little bit confusing because we call this the water layer, even though it also contains fat as well, but it contains water as well. So you just want to mix everything together until the water at the end, because like with most doughs, the environment can be a little bit wetter, it can be a little bit drier. So you just want to kind of pour in the water a little bit at a time just until everything comes together. So I'm just finishing the knead here 1 to 2 minutes until it gets to a fairly smooth ball of dough. And then just like the other piece of dough, I'm going to stick it into the refrigerator for about an hour just until it relaxes and then everything firms up a bit. Okay, so now I'm making the meat filling, and I have this vegan minced pork product from Omni Pork, if you guys were interested. And I have to be careful about seasoning this because the product already has salt and sugar and whatnot in it. So this is a little bit of a guessing game, but basically there's a fair amount of sugar in the pork mixture. It should be kind of like a sweet savory filling. So that was sugar. This is some white pepper. I have some rice wine, and then a little bit of dark and a little bit of light soy. We're gonna kind of have to play around with it as we go. But if you're using a product that is not seasoned or not as seasoned, you're just going to have to sometimes, you know, pick a piece out. I mean, this is what you're going to have to do in the vegan world. Take a piece out, give it a little try, and see if you need to be adding anything else in. The last thing to add is some ginger juice. add it a little bit as you go. And sometimes, because vegan meat products differ from real meat, which takes up a lot of moisture, if you find that your mixture is a little wet looking, feel free to add some, cornstarch or rice flour, something like that, in there. So yeah, the ginger juice goes in, and I'll just taste a piece of this. It's quite good. I'm gonna add the rest of the soy in here. Okay, so that is the meat filling, and you can just stick it into the refrigerator until we're ready to wrap. Okay, so now I have the water dough is here, and then this is just the one with the shortening and flour. This has been in the fridge for a little bit, so see, it has had plenty of time to really rest and to kind of develop that gluten a bit. Just wanted to knead it back first. So it gets smooth quite quickly. Encase that in that. That's pretty much it. You want to just gently push from the center out. Not using my hands too much, I don't want to warm it up. But just to spread that oil layer dough, the fat layer dough, and to just get it evenly distributed across the dough. We want to get it into a rectangular shape. Sneak through. You can always brush flour away if you use too much. Just do that one more time. Okay. Now we're going to have something more rectangular to work with. So stick this in the fridge for maybe 15 minutes, just until it kind of softens up again, and then we'll be ready to roll this out. And now we're going to roll it up, and that'll create some more layers. Okay. Last layer, the last bit. Push it down a bit. go. Then what you want to do is just close off the ends first. Like that. Okay. Close off the ends. And then we will turn it into a circle. Kind of bring the ends together. And then from here, we can roll it out. So you just want to rest these guys for about 5 minutes so that they can relax a little bit before you start rolling it out. And we kind of do it just dumpling style. So I always roll it to about 3 inches in diameter, and then I focus on kind of the outer 1/2 inch so that it's just a bit thinner than the rest. So you can see like the center, it has like a slight hump on it. And then that protects the dough a little bit better because the filling is wet. The filling is just so very wet. Maybe we'll put a little bit less. Okay. So you don't have to pleat it. It's just whatever's going to get you the most even coverage. I'm trying to not touch that filling because it's so wet. Okay, so just kind of close it up. You might want to pinch off some of this because it's like excess dough. Okay, but just make sure everything is closed. Okay. And then we'll just press it down a little bit. Just want to close that off. Do what I want. So just a note about these wooden stamps, or rather the ink, is that you want the ink to be quite thick because otherwise it won't stamp. Because some people recommended diluting the ink a little bit before putting it on the paper towel, but a nice gel food coloring works really well for this. Okay, so I went over them one more time because I'm kind of anal about that stuff, but this gets baked in a 375-degree oven for right around 20 to 25 minutes until they're just kind of like golden brown. I mean, you can see it this far away, but you can see the flakiness on that outside wrapper, and it's really, really good. The filling, it was really weird for me to, because I'm not really used to having meat in my mooncakes, but having them be slightly sweeter, it really was quite delicious, and it was a really nice process, and it was so pretty. I just painted that back wooden board myself, so I'm sure you guys will enjoy it as well. So yeah, all right, good. Stay tuned for more recipes to come, and I will see you all again next time.